Hey guys, this is going to be a video on how many cars you need for your layout. And I did this video once, but I'm going to touch it up so that everybody get a good understanding of what I'm talking about. This is pretty much part 2, and I'm going to go into detail, and I'm going to use the layout as an example because it's in fact what you see right now will give you a good example of what I'm talking about. Okay, so here we have the layout, the companies. We got Jack Tech, we got Ron, we got Roy, we got Joe, and we got BlackRock. Each company holds, well, this company holds 2 per track. 2 cars unloading, which is there, 2 cars loading, which is on that track. We have 1 car unloading, 1 car unloading, 1 car unloading, 1 car loading. So we got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spots. 6 spot and drops. Okay? 6 spot and drops. And the way I'm going to do this is this way. In a 3-point system. We got 2. We got 2. We got here 2, 2. Nah, let's do it this way. Let's just do 1 track right now, so y'all won't get confused. We got 2 on 1 track. We got 2 on the staging track, and we got 2 on the company, and we got 2 in the yard. This is a 3-point, but it's still in a 4-point series, okay? Because here's the company. Let me get it. Here's the company. We don't have a yard over here. We have a siding. So we're going to put an S for siding. At the company, at the chemical plant, which is the center of the chemical plant where it's the origin, the main origin, we have a yard, and then at the spot drop we have a spot drop where we load and unload the chemical. Okay, so we have 2 cars at the chemical at the company. We got 2 cars that will be over there in the staging area. We got 2 cars in the yard, and we got 2 cars on the spot and drop at the chemical plant, either being loaded or unloaded. So 2, 4, 6, 8. We got 8 cars for that company on the layout. Okay. Now that is rail car CBTX. Up there on the board. Let's count the cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got 9 cars, guys. So we got 1 car as a reserve. If we need it or not, we have our reserve. So we're not going to worry about CBTX because we're all good. So that's 8, 9 cars plus 1 reserve. You see how that works? Everywhere on this layout, there is a car going to be sitting for a destination. Destination for the chemical, for the Jack Tech. Destination for spot and drop. Once we do the outbound, that car goes there. This car goes on the outbound to go to there. We got a car sitting on stage to go there. And that car that goes to the yard there will go to the spot and drop there. And then we repeat the cycle. With 1 car sitting in the yard for reserves. See how that works? Let's try another one. Let's try Ron. Ron, Tech, Roy, and Joe. They all get one car. All right. We got one at the company. We got the one on the stage. We got one in the yard. We got one on the spot and drop. Being loaded or unloaded. The same situation. We need 4 cars total. Okay? Let's look at Ron up here at the top. Ron at the top. 4 cars. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 cars. But we don't have a staging car for it, a reserve car for it, but that's fine. I'll get to that in a second. Okay? Let's look at all of them. So, Joe, Ron, and Roy all got 4 cars, and BlackRock has 4 cars. All of them up there at the top. 4 cars. All 4 of those companies got 4 cars. Here is where I put my reserves. The reserves. The reserves are the emergency cars, okay? They're the just-in-case cars. Each company up there that has 4 cars get either 1 or 2 reserves. Okay? So, the more cars I get, I'll start adding cars to each company. So that one spot and drop, 1 will go to 2 spot and drops. So, in the future, Ron will get 2, Roy will get 2, Joe will get 2, and BlackRock will get 2. So, each company will have 2 cars in the future. So, in a 3-point system, we got 2, got 2, got 2, and a 2. This pretty much works in the same thing because we got the company here, chemical plant, and we have the companies over here. It's still a point-to-point, but a 3-point system because I still have 2 yards, but I only have, well, it's pretty much the same thing in a 4-point system, 3-point, 4-point system. So it really doesn't matter. Okay? So, soon, each one will have 2 cars at its spot drop. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8. We got 8 cars. Okay? We got 8 cars. We got 4. I'm sorry, we got 8 cars, and we got what? 1, 2, 3. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 7 companies. Now, the reason why I put 7 instead of 6 is because this has a 2-track. It has 2 tracks instead of 1. So I have to count this as an entity of another company, if that makes sense. So it's 2 companies into 1 because I got 2 spot and drops, 4 cars in this company, but 2 on each track. So the magic number is 4. Okay? But to make it a little bit more simple, I make it 7 because I'm counting that as 2 companies. So we got 7 companies on this layout. Now let me check to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because of the chemical plant. So we got 7 in all. And we got 8 cars. So that's 7 times 8, 56 cars. 56 cars for this whole layout. My magic number right now is 44 cars. I have 44 scale train tank cars on here right now. My magic number is 56. But I want to get 60, maybe 70. And the reason why I want 70, maybe 60 to 70 is because I might add another company in the future. So, people, how many cars you really need on your layout is based on how many cars you want on each spot and drop. How many cars you want to hold in your yard for that company. And people are putting 350 cars to 400 cars. And some of those cars you don't even need on your layout because they're just sitting there waiting just for show. If it's not being used, either put it on the wall, keep it in the box, or quite simply just don't buy it. Why waste money? Why waste money on engines? Why waste money on any of this? A tank train, a refinery, same place where I used to work at. Out of that refinery, we had each rail, okay, we're gonna say 4 rail, 6 rail, 8 rail, 9 rail. These are all the tank cars, 5 rail. Each rail hold 12 to 14 cars. So we're gonna put the magic number 14, okay? 14 spot and drops, 14. 14 cars going on a spot and drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 areas. That's 70 cars. That's 70 cars on spot and drop. Okay, 70 cars are on spot and drop at that refinery. Be mindful, each car held 14 cars. 14 cars, okay? 14 cars on spot and drop, being loaded or unloaded. It doesn't matter, loaded or unloaded, okay? It has to go to a destination, which is the yard, okay? So we got another 70 cars in the yard sitting there to be loaded. So we got 70 there, we got 70 there, and then at the other destination, wherever they're going, they got 70 cars there, and then on spot and drop, they got 70 cars being loaded at a time. That's 280 cars. 280 cars. So the question I asked you, but you got 350 cars on your layout. People, overspending money will cost you in the long run. I got rid of all my engines because I didn't need them. If I'm not using them, why have them? You got 100 engines Be mindful, for every engine is 25 cars, okay? For every 25 cars, there is an engine on your layout, okay? 25 cars, one engine. For every car, every 25 cars, one engine. You got 350 cars. Wow. But you got 100 engines. Do the math. Why you need so many engines for why you need so many engines for 350 cars? Do the math. Figure that out. Ask your question, why spend so much money on cars you don't need? If it's not being used, don't put it on your layout and don't buy it. Save your money. That's what I'm learning now. Number one thing, people, save your money. Budget how many cars you need on your layout. If you're going to have a huge building layout and you got 35 spot and drops, we'll use 35 spot and drops. You got a big ass layout and you got 35 spot and drops on it, okay? 35 spot and drops. I got to get to work. All right, 35 spot and drops. Okay, let's do the math. You got 2 spot and drops. 2 spot and drops over there. Okay, so you got 2. You got 2. You got 2. And you got 2. Okay, that's 8 cars. 8 cars for that one area, because you got cars at the company, you got cars at the yard, you got cars at the company, and you got cars at the yard. So those cars gonna go here. I'm sorry, I take that back. Those cars gotta go to the yard here. The cars from the yard goes on the outbound to go here. Those cars from the outbound that are spot and drop goes here. And those cars on the outbound go back over to here. So you got cars in each spot that's being loaded, unloaded, on the bound, and wherever. So you got 8 cars. And it's a 2 spot on everything. Every spot and drop is 2 cars. So 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 times 4 is 8. Okay, 8 times 35. Times 30 is 12. That's 280 cars. $280 cars, but you got 350 cars. So you got an extra 70 cars that you don't need in your layout. That's all I'm saying, guys. That is the best formula to figure out how many cars you need on your layout, because you're doing a point to point to point to point. Think about it, people. We'll continue this discussion later on when I get off from work. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the section down below. I got to get to work. Y'all take care. Bye.